The champagne cork popped like a gunshot in the crowded rooftop bar, and Jamie's voice cut through the cheers. "Sarah and I are getting married." My hand trembled on the plastic stick hidden in my pocket, the two pink lines staring back at me from earlier that afternoon. Positive, undeniable, a secret life kicking against the walls of a body I'd fought so hard to call my own. In that instant, the city lights of Chicago blurred into a kaleidoscope of regret, because the father of this child was the man whose ring was now sliding onto someone else's finger, and I'd never found the words to tell him I loved him first. I stood frozen amid the whoops and clinking glasses, the summer breeze off Lake Michigan doing nothing to cool the fire in my chest. Jamie, my Jamie, with his easy laugh and the way he'd always slung an arm around my shoulders like we were brothers in arms, pulled Sarah close, her blonde waves catching the sunset as she beamed up at him. They looked perfect, the kind of straight-out-of-a-magazine couple that made my queer heart ache with envy and shame. Alex Rivera, 28, barista by day and aspiring graphic novelist by night. Trans guy who'd transitioned through the grit of Midwest winters and family silences, now carrying a baby that complicated every label I'd claimed. I'd frozen my eggs before starting testosterone, a quiet act of defiance against a future I wasn't sure I'd want. But here it was, courtesy of a one-night blur of vulnerability and too much whiskey 6 weeks ago. Jamie had held me after, whispering that I was his rock, his safe harbor in a world that still side-eyed our friendship like it was a punchline waiting to drop. The party swirled on without me, friends from our tight-knit circle, LGBTQ warriors who'd bonded over dive bar brunches and Pride March hangovers, raising toasts to forever. There was Mia, the fierce lesbian photographer with tattoos snaking up her arms like vines claiming a wall, clapping Jamie on the back while shooting me a knowing glance. She'd seen the way I looked at him, the lingering touches that said more than words. Beside her, Theo, non-binary and unflappably witty, juggled champagne flutes with a grin that hid their own scars from a conservative family back in Ohio. And then Lena, Jamie's sister, the straight ally who dragged us all into therapy circles after her own divorce, now hugging Sarah like they'd been besties forever. I forced a smile, mumbling congratulations as the nausea hit. Not just morning sickness, but the sour twist of realizing I'd lost him before I even had a chance to fight. By midnight, the bar had emptied into the streets, laughter echoing off brick walls as we stumbled toward the L train. Jamie fell into step beside me, his tie loosened, cologne mixing with the faint salt of the lake. "You okay, Alex? You were quiet tonight." His blue eyes searched mine, that boyish concern that always unraveled me. I wanted to spill it all. The test, the terror, the love that had simmered since college, when we'd roomed together at Northwestern, and he'd been the first to call me he, without flinching. Instead, I shrugged. "Just happy for you, man. Sarah's great." Lies tasted like ash, but truth felt like a grenade. We rode home in silence, the train rattling through the loop's neon veins. My apartment in Wicker Park was a 5-minute walk from his in Logan Square, close enough for late-night pizza runs, far enough to pretend we weren't orbiting each other. As we parted at my door, he pulled me into a hug, his heartbeat steady against my ear. "Night, bro, love you." The words landed like a promise and a curse. I locked the door, slid down to the floor, and let the sobs come, one hand on my still flat belly, wondering how a life could start with so much ending. The next morning dawned sticky and unrelenting, sunlight slicing through my blinds like accusations. I stared at the ceiling, the stick on my nightstand a sentinel of chaos. Doctor's appointment at noon, confirmation, options, the sterile talk of what came next. But first, coffee. Or tea. Now that caffeine felt like treason. Downstairs at Brew Haven, my shift started with the hiss of the espresso machine and regulars barking orders. "Extra shot, Alex," hollered Mr. Patel from the counter, oblivious to the storm in my head. I nodded, hands steady from years of faking it, but inside, everything tilted. Mia burst in at 10, camera slung over her shoulder, her cropped black hair tousled from a dawn shoot. "Spill," she said, sliding onto a stool as I frothed milk. "No hello, just that laser focus she turned on subjects and friends." I hesitated, wiping the counter like it owed me answers. "Jamie's engaged." Her eyes narrowed. "Yeah, and you're glowing like a ghost. What's really up? The dam cracked. Words tumbled out. The hookup, the test, the terror of solo parenting as a trans guy in a country where bathrooms were battlegrounds and healthcare a gamble. Mia listened, her face a map of empathy and rage. That bastard. Does he know? I shook my head. Not yet. Hell, I don't even know if I can do this. She reached across, squeezing my hand. You? Alex, you've survived worse. Remember sophomore year, when your folks cut you off after you came out as trans? You rebuilt from scraps. This baby's got your fire. Her words anchored me, but doubt gnawed. What if Jamie bolted? What if Sarah's perfect world shattered ours? Mia pulled out her phone. Group chat. Theo's in, brunch at mine, stat. No arguments. Before I could protest, invites flew to our crew, the digital lifeline we'd woven through heartbreaks and hookups. Theo arrived first, NB elegance in a flowy button-down and ripped jeans, carrying a tray of scones from their bakery job. Drama alert, they announced, plopping down on Mia's velvet couch. Lena trickled in next, hungover but game, her auburn curls a mess. Wait, Alex's. She trailed off as I nodded, the room thickening with the weight. Theo whistled low, pregnant and pining. This is peak queer soap opera. Laughter broke the tension, sharp and healing, but Lena's brow furrowed. Jamie's my brother, but if he hurts you. Her voice cracked, revealing the sibling code she'd always honored. We talked for hours, dissecting the fallout. Mia sketched timelines on a napkin. Tell him now, or wait for the wedding invite. Theo advocated radical honesty, quoting Audre Lorde on silence as violence. Lena fretted over family prejudices, her parents' old-school Catholicism a minefield for anything non-straight, let alone trans. They barely handled me dating a woman in college. I admitted, the memory stinging. Dad's voice echoed. You're confused, son. Wait, daughter. The labels had warred, but I'd chosen Alex, chosen me. Now this child forced a reckoning. By afternoon, resolve hardened. I'd tell Jamie tonight, over takeout at his place, before the news metastasized. But as I stepped out, phone buzzed, a text from him. Dinner? Sarah's out of town. Miss our bro nights. Heart hammering. I typed back yes, the hook sinking deeper. His apartment smelled of garlic and fresh basil, the same as always. Home and away mine never quite was. Jamie greeted me with a beer, clinking bottles like old times. To new chapters, he said, but his smile faltered, eyes tracing my face. We settled on the couch, pizza boxes open, some dumb action flick flickering on the TV. Midway through, words clawed up my throat. Jamie, I need to tell you something. He paused the movie, turning fully. Shoot. The confession spilled. The night, the test, the plus sign. His face cycled through shock, then something softer, hand reaching for mine. Alex. Shit. A baby? Our baby. He didn't pull away, but questions piled. How? Why now? I explained the frozen eggs, the pause in tea to harvest them years back, the slip-up that night when grief over a bad date had us crossing lines we'd danced around. I didn't plan this, I whispered, but it's happening. He stood, pacing, running hands through his hair. Sarah, the wedding's in 3 months. What do I do? The question gutted me. Not us, but I do. You don't have to. I started, but he whirled. Of course I do. You're my best friend. This changes everything. Joy flickered, then doubt. Was it duty, or more? We talked till dawn, plans half formed. Doctor's visits, co-parenting sketches, but beneath, the unspoken loomed, my love, his engagement, the chasm of what we could have been. Sunlight crept through Jamie's blinds like an intruder, pulling me from a fitful sleep on his couch. My body ached, a mix of exhaustion and the faint queasiness that now heralded mornings. He was in the kitchen, scrambling eggs with that focused intensity he brought to everything from coding apps to fixing my leaky faucet. Morning, Dad, he quipped, sliding a plate over, but the joke landed awkward, our new reality hanging heavy. I managed to chuckle, poking at the food. Feels surreal. He nodded, sitting across. I shadowed. Yeah, Sarah's flying back tonight. I have to tell her. The words twisted like a knife. Sarah, poised, ambitious marketing, was with a laugh like wind chimes and a family that summered in the Hamptons. She'd met Jamie at a tech conference last year, their connection instant and uncomplicated, the kind that didn't question pronouns or past heartaches. I'd liked her, even, in that polite way you like your friend's partner, until jealousy soured it. Now, she was the variable in our equation, the one who'd make or break this fragile triad. We drove to my doctor's in his beat-up Subaru, the radio tuned low to some indie playlist we'd curated together, Hosier crooning about love as worship, ironic now. The clinic in Andersonville was a beacon for queer folks, rainbows on the walls and staff, with they slashed them pins. Dr. Patel, a no-nonsense South Asian woman with kind eyes, confirmed it all. 8 weeks along, healthy heartbeat flickering on the ultrasound like a secret Morse code. Jamie gripped the chair arm, transfixed. That's us. His voice broke, and for a moment, the room shrank to just that sound wave, binding us in wonder. Back in the car, silence stretched until he cracked. I'm scared, Alex. Not just the baby, us. What if I'm not cut out for this? Vulnerability from Jamie was rare. He was the fixer, the one who mediated our friend group's blow-ups. I turned, meeting his gaze. You've got me. We've got this. But Doubt whispered, did we? His phone buzzed, Sarah. He silenced it, but the ghost lingered. That evening, he dropped me at Mia's for support squad debrief. The apartment buzzed with takeout Thai and Theo's homemade lemonades. Lena already there with her laptop open to baby name forums. First rule, Mia declared, divvying spring rolls. No toxic positivity. Lay it out. I did. The scan, Jamie's reaction, the Sarah shadow. Theo leaned in, sharp. He's freaking because it's real now. But engagement isn't marriage. Room to pivot. Lena snorted. Easy for you to say. My parents will lose it. Trans uncle? Gay vibes. Wait till they hear. Her words stung, dredging memories of holidays where I'd been the phase, past the mashed potatoes while Mom avoided my eyes. Jamie had been my shield then, deflecting with jokes, but family prejudice ran deep. Lena softened. I'm on your side, Alex. Always. But bro code, I'll talk to him after he tells Sarah. Gratitude swelled, but so did isolation. This child wasn't just mine. It tangled everyone. Night fell with texts from Jamie. Told her. She's processing. Coming over tomorrow. My reply was thumbs up, but sleep evaded, mind racing through worst cases, her demanding abortion, him choosing her, me raising this kid alone in a one-bedroom with student loans and sketchy gigs. Dawn brought resolve. I'd fight for space in his life, co-parent or more, but not beg. Sarah arrived at brunch the next day, uninvited but inevitable, her sundress crisp against the cafe's bohemian vibe. Our table in the outdoor patio of the Broken Yoke tensed as she slid in beside Jamie, forcing a smile my way. Alex, hi? Jamie filled me in. Her voice was even, but eyes wary, scanning me like Exhibit A. I nodded, sipping mimosa-less orange juice. Congrats on the news. Awkward beat. Then Theo jumped in with quips about surprise plot twists, lightning air. But undercurrents pulled. Sarah asked questions, timeline, health, plans, clinical, like interviewing a contractor. It's a lot, she admitted, hand on Jamie's knee. We were just getting our rhythm. He squeezed back, torn. I know, but Alex's family. The word landed neutral, not the bomb I'd hoped. Mia caught my eye, mouthing brief. Conversation veered to wedding details. Venue in Milwaukee, guest list ballooning. Each mention a reminder of timelines clashing with my own. Later, alone with Jamie in the parking lot, I confronted it. Is this ruining things for you too? He sighed, leaning against the car. It's complicating. She wants kids eventually, but not like this. Not with complications. The pause screamed subtext. My transness, our history, the mess of it. Complications? I echoed, heat rising. This baby's not a glitch, Jamie. He backpedaled. I didn't mean, shit, Alex, I'm trying. We parted strained. The drive home a blur of honking taxis and half-formed regrets. Days blurred into a tense routine. Work shifts where I'd sketch baby onesies and margins, friend check-ins laced with advice, and late-night calls with Jamie plotting logistics. Prenatal classes, paternity leave from his dev job. But fissures grew. Sarah posted engagement pics online, all glow and filters, captions about forever starts now. I scrolled in bed, thumb hovering over like, settling on nothing. Prejudices crept in subtly, her offhand, As long as it's healthy, comment at group dinner. Theo calling her out later as microaggressive. She's scared too, Lena defended, but even she eyed the strain. Then the first blow, a family dinner at Lena's parents' in Oak Park, pre-wedding prep disguised as casual. I wasn't invited. Too soon, Jamie texted, apologetic. Exclusion burned, echoing old wounds. Mia and Theo rallied for a counter night, karaoke at a queer bar in Boys Town, belting show tunes till hoarse. To chosen family, Theo toasted, arm around me. Laughter healed some, but ache lingered. How long before this baby forced choices no one wanted? 2 weeks in, the ultrasound follow-up brought joy. A profile emerging, tiny fists waving. Jamie teared up in the dim room, whispering, fighter, to the screen. Driving back, he pulled over near the lakefront, turning to me. I can't stop thinking about that night. About us. Heart stuttered. Jamie. But his phone rang. Sarah, crisis at work. Duty called, pulling him away. Again. Autumn crept into Chicago with crisp edges, leaves turning gold along the 606 trail where I jogged to outpace nausea and nerves. At 16 weeks, the bump was a secret swell under loose tees, but energy surged, a hormonal high carrying me through sketches for my graphic novel, a queer coming-of-age tale now infused with paternal fears. Brewhaven buzzed with Halloween prep, pumpkins carved into ally symbols by regulars, but my mind wandered to Jamie's bachelor party looming, a weekend in Milwaukee sans me. He'd been distant, texts shorter, calls laced with static. Sarah's influence, or guilt? Mia theorized both during our weekly coffee ritual. She's nesting her territory, she said, stirring oat milk. Classic straight-passing armor. Theo, popping in with pastries, added. Or he's panicking about feelings he buried. Their words stirred hope, but reality checked it. A group chat screenshot Lena forwarded, Sarah venting to bridesmaids about timing drama, my name redacted but implied. I confronted him over burgers at our spot, Kuma's Corner, the din of fryers muffling vulnerability. Talk to me, I urged, ketchup packet twisting in my fingers. Jamie sighed, burger untouched. It's everything. Mom and Dad. They're thrilled about the wedding, but when I mentioned the baby, they asked if you're sure about transitioning. Like it's a factor. Rage flared for him, the boy who'd grown up in their evangelical shadow, coming out as bi in whispers. And Sarah? He winced. She suggested. Options. Adoption, maybe. To keep things clean. The word clean sliced, reducing my child to clutter. We argued then. First real fracture. Me accusing him of hedging, him defending her fear as human. This isn't about labels, Alex. It's logistics. But it was, always had been. Labels had cost me friends, jobs, sleep. They'd forged our bond too, late-night confessions under dorm lights. Logistics don't change that I love. I stopped, words choking. His eyes widened, unspoken echoed. Silence stretched, broken by his phone, party plans. He left with a hug, promised to call, but the booth felt colder. The Bachelor Bash hit social media hard. Shots of craft beers, lake views, Jamie's grin wide, but eyes distant in Candid's Theo snuck. I spent the night at Lena's, binging old sitcoms, her cat curling on my lap like absolution. He's always loved you, she said softly, wine glass in hand. Not like a brother. I saw it at your 25th, the way he watched you dance with that guy from Tinder, jealous as hell. Her revelation unlocked memories. Jamie's flinch at my dates, the arm around my waist that lingered too long. Why say now? I whispered. Because you're family. And family's honest, even when it hurts. Monday brought storm clouds and a voicemail from Sarah. We need to talk. Coffee. Neutral ground at a cafe in Lincoln Park. Her across the Formica table, latte steaming. No pleasantries. I care about Jamie. About you both. But this pregnancy, it's pulling him away. Her eyes, green and steady, held no malice, just resolve. I want what's best. Maybe space, for all of us. Space meant distance, meant losing him inch by inch. This baby's half his. I countered, voice even. You can't opt out of that. She nodded, slow. I know. But marriage is vows. Can you promise not to complicate them? The question hung, laced with prejudice. Not overt hate, but the subtle sort that questioned my place in their straight-washed future. I left with tea gone cold, walking miles home, wind whipping tears. Mia found me on the stoop, bundled me inside for tea and rants. Gaslighting 101, she fumed. Making you the villain for existing. Theo arrived with ice cream, declaring war. Operation Heart to Heart. We drag him to therapy, group style. It worked, sort of. We convened at a neutral spot, the Healing Hive, a queer-affirming counselor's office in Uptown. Dr. Nguyen, with her soft voice and zero judgment, unpacked layers. Jamie's internalized biphobia from family, Sarah's fear of losing control, my terror of abandonment rooted in transition losses. Sessions unearthed gems. Jamie's admission that the engagement felt rushed, safe, a rebound from our almost something in college. Sarah softened, sharing her own closet days before coming out as bi-curious. But Jamie's mine now. Me? I voiced the love, raw. I've been in love with you since you helped me pack boxes after top surgery, blood on the floor, and you saying I was brave. Room stilled, Jamie's hand finding mine under the table, electric. Progress, but fragile. Holidays loomed. Thanksgiving at Lena's parents, a gauntlet. They insisted I come, for the baby, but vibes screamed tolerance tour. The dining room in their ranch-style home reeked of turkey and tension, Dad's prayers lingering on traditional families. Mom cooed over my bump awkwardly, asking if it would be a boy or girl, pronouns slipping. Jamie shielded, jokes deflecting, but Sarah shone, charming them with stories of her wasp roots. I excused to the porch, breath fogging glass, until he joined, coat over shoulders. They're trying, he murmured. For me. I leaned into him. But are you happy? His silence answered. Winter bit harder that year, snow blanketing the city in hush. At 20 weeks, kicks came. Fluttery Morse from within, Jamie's palm pressed to my shirt in stolen moments, all lighting his face. We attended a prenatal class together, sans Sarah, breathing through contractions sims like partners. Whispers grew, friends betting on breakups, Lena mediating family calls. Then the twist, a leaked email from Sarah's work, wedding planner CC'd on contingency for family drama. My pregnancy flagged as risk. Mia uncovered it via a mutual contact, forwarding with fury. Confrontation at their shared loft, Sarah defensive. Precaution, not malice. Jamie torn, yelling for the first time. This is our kid, not drama. I stormed out, cab ride blurring lights, landing at Theo's door. They held me as sobs racked, whispering, "You're enough. Baby's enough." Dawn brought clarity. I needed boundaries, not begging. Jamie showed at my door that night, snow-dusted, eyes red. I ended it. Shock rippled. The engagement? He nodded, stepping in. Can't build on secrets. Or half-truths. I love you, Alex. Always have. The kiss followed, tentative then fierce, years pouring out. But joy tangled with caution, timing, trust, the baby bridging us. Slow, I murmured against his lips. For us. Spring thawed Chicago's grip, tulips pushing through mulch along Michigan Avenue, as my belly rounded into undeniable territory. At 24 weeks, viability milestone hit with a whoosh of relief, Jamie's hand on my skin during every kick, his presence a constant now. The breakup with Sarah had been messy, public tears at a coffee shop, mutual friends picking sides, but she'd bowed out gracefully, texting me apologies laced with respect. Take care of him. And you. Whispers circled our group, judgments from her camp calling me homewrecker, but our crew circled wagons. Mia's photo shoots now featuring bump portraits, Theo curating a nursery playlist of lullabies remixed queer. Living together started tentative, his boxes in my cramped apartment, merging lives like puzzle pieces warped by time. Mornings were domestic poetry, him brewing decaf, me sketching while he coded, feet tangled under the table. But shadows lingered. Nightmares woke me, visions of loss, family rejection, medical scares, Jamie soothing with stories of our future. Park picnics, little league games, a home with space for my art. We'll make it ours, he'd say, but doubts nipped. Was this rebound romance, or roots? Lena's wedding shower for a cousin became flashpoint. Her parents hosted, Victorian house in Evanston aglow with strings, but undercurrents simmered. Mom cornered me in the kitchen, apron dusted with flour. Such a blessing, the baby. But Alex, have you thought about how it'll affect school? Kids need stability. Subtext, My job instability, trans instability, all instability. I bit back retorts, citing studies on queer parenting success, but her pat on the arm felt patronizing. Just pray on it, dear. Jamie overheard, pulling me aside later amid lawn games. They're scared of change, like I was. His confession cracked open. College days, crushing on me pre-transition, burying it under bromance to fit straight norms. Thought it made me less bi, less man. Vulnerability bonded us deeper. That night ending in whispers and plans. A commitment ceremony post-baby. Rings exchanged under pride arches. But conflict brewed external. Work drama at Brew. Manager, a cis-gay guy with old-school views, sidelined me to light duties, muttering about distractions. Mia rallied, organizing a staff petition, but Sting lingered, prejudice wearing progress's mask. Theo, ever the activist, connected me to a queer parent support group in Hyde Park, circle of trans dads and lesbian moms swapping tips on binders and bottles. There, I met Kai, a trans man with a toddler, his calm wisdom. Your body's a map, not a mistake. Own it. Energy waned as third trimester loomed, swelling ankles and sciatica joining the party. Jamie adapted, massages and midnight runs to Walgreens for cravings. Pickles and ice cream, classic cliché. Friends threw a baby shower at Mia's loft. Balloons in non-binary colors, gifts piled. Onesies with future activist prints, books on diverse families. Toasts flowed. Lena's teary, to the uncle/aunt/parent we'll adore. Theo's roast on Jamie's dad bod incoming. Laughter healed, but a call from my parents shattered it. Mom, voice thin, heard about the baby. From Lena, we'd like to meet. If you're open. Reconciliation dangled, fraught. I'd gone low contact post-transition, their silence a wound. Jamie urged yes. For the kid. Not them. We flew to Seattle, rainy city mirroring moods. Airport hug awkward. Dad's grip firm, but eyes averted from my belly. Dinner at their craftsman home was stilted. Small talk on weather, my novel progress, avoiding landmines. Then Mom, we're sorry. For the distance. We read books, joined a PFLAG group. Tears came, mine and theirs, bridges tentative. Grandpa. Dad tried, hand on bump. Progress, imperfect. Back home. High faded into prep. Hospital bags packed. Birth plan debated. Midwife over OB for gender-affirming care. But surprise struck. 28 weeks. Routine check reveals twins. Shock, then terror. High risk now. Bedrest whispers. Jamie paled in the exam room. Dr. Patel reassuring. Manageable, with monitoring. Home. He paced, me on couch with feet up. 2. We're outnumbered already. Laughter bubbled, fear too. Friends mobilized. Meal trains, Theo's double stroller hunt. Tension peaked mid-bed rest. Jamie's ex is surfacing. Sarah emailing congrats laced with nostalgia. An old college fling texting flirty. Insecurity flared. I snapped one night, accusing him of doubts. Is this what you want or pity? He recoiled, hurt flashing. Pity? Alex, you're my choice. Every day. Argument escalated, words weaponized. My fears of inadequacy, his of failing us. Door slam, him crashing at Lena's. Silence stretched hours. Then his return, flowers and apology. We're scared together. No running. Reconciliation deepened intimacy. Talks turning philosophical. Identity, legacy. How this family redefined us. Pride Month arrived. Parade floats thumping bass as we marched. Bump leading, signs reading, trans joy incoming X2. Cheers washed prejudice away, if temporary. But climax brewed domestic. 32 weeks, contractions false but fierce. Ambulance lights flashing blue. ER wait, monitors beeping, Jamie's hand vice tight. Breathe, he coached, our eyes locked. False alarm, but wake up, life's fragility. Discharged, we vowed presence, no more half measures. Summer heat baked the city as due date neared, air thick with possibility. My novel draft finished, characters mirroring our arc. Love amid ruins, growth through grit. Jamie read it tear-streaked. This is us. Beautiful. Labor hit like a freight train at 37 weeks. Midnight pains bending me double over the kitchen sink. Water broke in a warm rush. Jamie's voice steady on 911. My partners in labor, twins, Trans male, pronouns he/him. Dispatcher's comma lifeline. Hospital ride blurred. Contractions cresting waves, his hand anchor. Admitting buzzed efficient. Team briefed on my history. No misgendering, low intervention birth. Labor room hummed. Mia and Theo in waiting area. Lena en route from a late shift. Hours stretched eternal. Pain of forge reshaping me. Jamie coached breaths. Cool cloth on brow. Whispering, "You're a warrior," between contractions. Epidural blessed relief at dawn, but monitors dipped. Baby B's heart rate faltering. Dr. Patel rushed in. Team swarming. C-section now. Panic spiked, but his kiss grounded. "We've got this." Team Rivera. Or lights glared. Spinal numbing legs. Drape up as they pulled first. Elias. Cry piercing. 7 pounds even. Dark fuzz like mine. Then Arden. Smaller but fierce. Lungs belting fury. Tears streamed. Jamie cutting cords with trembling hands. Babies on my chest skin to skin. Tiny hearts thumping Morse of survival. Recovery blurred days. NICU for Arden's breathing assist. Elias rooming in. Jamie shuttled, sleep-deprived but glowing. Burping one while I nursed the other. Testosterone paused for lactation, a choice reclaiming body. Friends rotated visits. Mia snapping Polaroids. Theo reading stories in silly voices. Lena smuggling contraband coffee. My parents video called, faces soft with awe, grandbabies. Our Alex a dad. Healing words, distance shrinking. Discharge brought home chaos. Twin cries overlapping. Diapers doubling. Nights fragmented. Jamie adapted seamless. App on phone tracking feeds. Me sketching one-handed between rockings. But cracks showed. His work calls intruding. My hormones crashing post-placenta. Resentment bubbling at uneven loads. "You're supermaning," he said one frayed evening. Arden colicky. "Trying." I snapped, Elias fussing. Blow-up followed. Me accusing burnout neglect, him defending deadlines. "I can't quit, Alex. We need the insurance." Truth landed hard. My freelance gigs paused, his salary scaffold. Therapy resumed. Dr. Nguyen mediating. Parenthood amplifies shadows. Name them. Sessions unearthed mine. Transition trauma fearing failure. His. Biphobia ghosts doubting provision. Progress. Chore charts. Date nights with Lena babysitting. Reclaiming couple dom amid diapers. Surprise visitor. Sarah, unannounced at 6 weeks postpartum, coffee in hand. "Peace offering," she said, eyes on sleeping twins. Awkward tea turned honest. She'd started therapy, unpacking her role. I pushed too hard. "You too. You're real." No romance rekindle, but bridge mended, her becoming anti-light, sending onesies with witty slogans. Fall deepened bonds. First family photo op at the lakefront, wind tousling baby blankets. Prejudices lingered external. Playgroup mamas side-eyeing my stubble. Pediatrician fumbling pronouns. But community buffered. Queer dads meet up. Stories shared over park benches. My novel sold to a small press. Queer imprint thrilled by trans dad narrative. Launch party small but mighty. Jamie toasting to stories that save us. Winter brought first holidays as 4. Thanksgiving at Lena's. Parents flying in. Table groaning with turkey and tamales. Awkward thawed to warmth. Dad diapering Arden. Mom cooing Spanish lullabies. Jamie's folks joined tentative. Evangelical edges softening at grandkid magic. "Family's what we make," he murmured, carving bird. But high drama crested New Year's. Blizzard trapping us. Power out. Twins feverish. R-dash and wide out. Hearts pounding. Flu. Not dire, but scare crystallized fragility. Huddled post-discharge. Candles flickering. We vowed resilience. "No more assumptions," I said. "Full in every day." Spring bloomed with milestones. Elias's first roll, Arden's gummy grin, our commitment ceremony under cherry blossoms in Grant Park. Vows simple. I choose you, chaos and all. Rings exchanged, friends witnessing, babies gurgling chorus. Prejudices? Faded backdrop to joy's foreground. Years later, looking back, that announcement day, cork pop, test lines, mark not fall, but foundation. Love, messy and profound, rebuilt from ruins. Epilogue threads forward. 5 years on, Chicago summers sticky with promise. Elias and Arden tearing through Wicker Park playgrounds, gap-toothed laughs echoing. My novel's sequel tours coasts. Jamie's app for queer parents booming, funding family travels. Road trip to Seattle, grandparents beaming. Prejudices persist. School forms bungling genders, stares at parks. But we're armored, community web tight. One evening, rooftop bar redux, anniversary toast. To the day everything fell. Jamie says, arm around me, kids chasing fireflies below. And rose stronger. I nod, hand on his, heart full. Misunderstandings mended, love's drama our greatest plot.